Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 9 p.m. English News Edition. Here are the top stories. And the head of state chairs the 70th session of the Council of Ministers of this year. And still for the national news, third edition of the African Forum for Strengthening the Health Product Supply Chain. And now for the international news, Security Council adopts U.S. Resolution 2803 supporting the Trump plan for Gaza as the humanitarian situation. The details now, as I mentioned, the title under the presidency of His Excellency Al-Hajj Ismail Omar Guelleh, President of the Republic and head of the government. The 17th Council of Ministers meeting was held on Tuesday, November 18, 2025. The Minister of City, Urban Planning and Housing, first item, communication and development of the master plan for urban planning of the Djibouti agglomeration. The Ministry of City presented the elaboration of the new master plan for urban planning of the Djibouti agglomeration. She highlighted that the city of Djibouti has experienced strong economic and demographic growth in recent years, making it necessary to establish a more modern and coherent master plan. The new master plan is a guiding and planning document aimed at better managing urban development in the short, medium and long term, providing a clear and sustainable framework for public and private actors. It identifies urban expansion areas to support economic activities, enhance housing and public services, also improve residents' living conditions. It also integrates strategies for natural risk management and climate adaptation. The final phase is scheduled for January 2026. Will focus on institutional arrangements and the priority investment plan, defining responsibilities, governance, and a detailed action plan. This law sets the framework for the sustainable and structured expansion of Djibouti city. It identifies residential, commercial, and industrial zones, integrates risk management and climate adaptation strategies, and provides a clear roadmap for public and private development over the short, medium, and long term. And now the Ministry of Budget, second item, draft law on the state budget for 2026. The 2026 state budget is balanced with revenues and expenditures totaling 172 billion franc Djiboutis, representing a +1% increase compared to 2025 amended finance law. The budget aims to consolidate fiscal balances while maintaining strategic government priorities. It emphasizes global stability, controlling salary expenses and material spending, also accelerating public investment. The expected growth in 2026 is 7%, driven mainly by public investment, regional trade recovery, and modernization of the budget framework. Current revenues represent 92% of total resources, totaling 159.2 billion franc Djibouti, confirming the importance of domestic resources in funding public policies. The finance law focuses on consolidating macroeconomic stability, accelerating structural economic transformation, strengthening governance and budget transparency. Third draft law approving the 2024 financial accounts of the Central Purchasing Agency for Medicines and Essential Materials. The 2024 accounts show more than 1 billion in revenue, in expenses more than 1,172,000,000, and the net result, revenues come mainly from medicine and medical equipment sales and government subsidized to lower than in 2023. The CMMA also conducted organizational audits, multi-year training plans, system deployment, and staff capacity building. Draft law approving the 2023 financial accounts of the University of Djibouti. Revenue decreased slightly compared to 2022, mainly from enrollment fees for initial and continuing education. Expenses total 3.47 billion franc Djibouti, and personnel costs representing 64.3% of total expenses. The university hosted 11,640 students across 35 program with 1,383 graduates in 23. The approval of these accounts ensured transparency oversight of university. Draft law approving of 2024 financial account of Douane Zakat. Revenue resources included cemetery fees. Expenses increased slightly, with main cost in purchase and personnel. Fixed assets rose by 5%. 5% due to the re-evaluation of properties acquisitions, including construction machinery, vehicles, and IT equipment. A draft order allocating land for Al-Hajj Hassan Bouled Abtidon International Airport, a 4,600 hectare plot in Be'ileh, is allocated to the Ministry of Infrastructure for the construction of the new international airport. The allocation facilitates the construction of a new international airport, strengthening Djibouti's role as a regional transport hub. It supports economic growth, international connectivity, and modern infrastructure development. The seventh item, draft order allocating land to the Djiboutian Football Federation, a 10 hectares plot at Nagad, is allocated for the construction of a 15,000 seat football stadium. This land allocation enables the construction of a national stadium to promote sports and youth engagement. It contributes to social cohesion, athletic development, and the hosting of regional sporting events. The Ministry of Labour, Formalization and Social Protection 90th decrees on appointment. 80th item, draft order allocating land to Yindon Steel Factory if takes the allocation support industrial development and economic diversification. As I said, the Ministry of Labour, Formalization and Social Protection draft decrees on appointment. Appointment include Mrs. Fatuma Hamoud Abdullahi, Technical Advisor to the Prime Minister, Mr. Yusuf Abdi Hussein, Technical Advisor to the Ministry of Budget. These appointments reinforce government capacity and leadership in key sectors. They ensure effective policy implementation and strengthen public administration. And now health. The Ministry of Health Tuesday organized the third edition of the African Forum for Strengthening the Supply Chain of Health Products, chaired by the Ministry. At the Kempinski Palace Hotel, the forum brings together more than 20 African countries and hosts over 300 participants, including experts and decision makers, who will take part in the meetings scheduled until 20 November 2025. Over 3 days, speakers and committee members will adopt an interactive and participatory approach to discuss challenges and opportunities in the health product supply chain. The focus will be on effective mechanism and strengthening cooperation with the aim of building a sovereign pharmaceutical Africa. This discussion aims to strengthen local capacity, improve access to medicines, and reinforce the strategic independence of the pharmaceutical sector in the African continent. The discussion revolves around a simple yet urgent idea: building an independent, innovative, and proactive African pharmaceutical industry, one capable of anticipating events rather than merely reacting to them. The forum aims to be more than just a discussion platform, a space to compare experiences, refine strategies, and boldly reimagine procurement centers to align them with the current social, health, and security realities. The Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Roble Abdillah, underscored the crucial importance of establishing a regional logistic center.
C'est un honneur pour moi, en ma qualité de ministre de la Santé de Djibouti, de vous.
It's a great honor for me in my capacity as the Minister of Health of Djibouti to extend to you the warmest of welcomes. On the occasion of the opening of the African Forum on Strengthening the Health Products Supply Chain, which follows the 25th General Assembly held here in Djibouti, your strong and high-level presence is a clear testament to the crucial importance that the theme of this forum holds for the future of healthcare on our continent. On behalf of President Ismail Omar Guelleh, on behalf of the health workforce of my country, and in my own name, I wish you welcome to Djibouti. Ladies and gentlemen, the health products supply chain is the invisible yet absolutely vital backbone of our health systems. As public health practitioners, we know that even the best policies, the newest facilities, and the most skilled professionals cannot accomplish much without a steady, reliable, and high-quality supply of medicines, vaccines, consumables, and medical equipment. This logistical side has long been the most neglected part of our health investment. The effects are serious, and we see them every day now, often overlooked when discussing Africa's pharmaceutical independence. So I appreciate that this forum in Djibouti is bringing much needed attention to this important issue for my country and for our continent.
And now the Ministry of Muslim Affairs and Waqf, Mr. Mumin Hassan Barre, represented the Republic of Djibouti at the official opening ceremony of the 5th edition to the International Hajj Conference and Exhibition 2026 held in Jeddah on 9 November 2025 under the inspiring theme From Mecca to the World. The opening ceremony was presided over by several senior officials of the kingdom, foremost among them the Saudi Minister of Hajj and Umrah, who presented the strategic directions and innovations aimed at continuously improving the experience of millions of pilgrims. The active participation of His Excellency Minister Momin Hassan Barre reflects the Republic of Djibouti's commitment to contributing to regional and international bodies dedicated to enhancing Hajj services and safeguarding pilgrims. A key highlight of the Djiboutian participation was a bilateral working meeting between His Excellency Minister Momin Hassan Barre and his Saudi counterpart, His Excellency Dr. Tawfiq Al-Rabi', Minister of Hajj and Umrah of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The meeting also provided an opportunity to assess advancement made in organizing the pilgrimage season, particularly in the areas of health, accommodation, transportation, and logistics. Both sides discussed ways to enhance cooperation between the two ministries to ensure better support for the pilgrims and provide services to comply with the standards established from the Saudi authorities. At the conclusion of the discussion, the two ministers emphasized the importance of making this great pillar of Islam accessible, safe, and comfortable for all pilgrims. The talks were held in a constructive spirit, contributed to enhancing coordination mechanisms between Djibouti and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in preparation for Hajj 2026. And now we coming back to Djibouti, where the Ministry of Energy in charge of natural resources, His Excellency Mr. Yunis Ali Gedi, took part yesterday in the United Arab Emirates, the 70th edition of the annual mining exhibition held in Zabil Hall at the Dubai World Trade Center. This exhibition is a major annual event that brings together key players in the interactive resources sector from the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. It features exhibition, conferences, and roundtables. The event attracted the global mining community, including decision makers, pioneers, and leaders of the mining industry, investors, innovators, and sector specialists. Participants exchanged knowledge and the latest innovations, shared expertise, and best practices. Also explored the future of the mining industry through technology, operation, investment, and sustainability in a sector undergoing significant transformation. And now the Ministry of Labour, in charge of regulation and social protection, today launched a two-day workshop dedicated to preparing the national strategy for labour migration. This event, organized in cooperation with the International Labour Organization, represents an important step in the government's effort to promote safe, regular, and rights-based labour migration. The Ministry of Labour of Djibouti plays a central role in implementing national policy in the areas of employment, professional integration, social relations, public service management, and social protection. The Ministry also drafts and oversees the implementation of laws related to workers' rights and the regulation of formal employment, reaffirming its essential and multi-phase responsibilities. In recent years, the government of Djibouti has made notable progress in modernizing the legal and institutional framework governing migration. The Labour Code regulates the employment of regular migrant workers, but does not cover the majority of irregular migrant workers who often work in the informal sector. This reality highlights the need for a more comprehensive strategy adopted to condition on the ground.
Regularly, the state of labor migration statistics, to which again Djibouti has been party and parcel. Lastly, on the labor issue, we also had the last census and the labor force survey that the government of Djibouti has undertaken, which also feeds into the regional platform on labor migration policy.
And now we move forward to hear the keynote intervention of the representative of the International Organization for Migration, followed by the address of the Ambassador of the United Kingdom.
I would like to start by expressing our gratitude to the Ministry of Labour in charge of formalization and social protection for its continuous commitment. I also thank the UK Embassy, particularly the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, for supporting the Better Regional Migration Management Project. We also recognize the Swedish government for supporting part of this week through the Joint Labour Migration Programme. I also welcome the presence of the European Union and IGAD. We always try to create synergies, and the EU support an important project on labour migration governance in IGAD. Since its creation, the ILO has placed labour mobility at the heart of its mandate. As you know, we are a century-old organization founded in 1919. Our international conventions, recommendations, multilateral frameworks on labour migration governance, and fair recruitment approach provide a strong foundation. They guide states toward human-centered or wide-based policies. This mandate was renewed by our tripartite governing body in March 2025 with the representative of government, employers and workers.
Et de travailleurs en mars 2025. La mission du ministère du Travail à Djibouti est très importante et aussi polyvalente. Entre autres,
the mission of Djibouti's Ministry of Labour is very important and diverse. It implements government policies on labour, employment, job placement, social relations, civil servant protection, and social protection. In recent years, the government has made great efforts to develop policies and laws to manage migrants and protect human rights for migrant workers. The Labour Code includes procedures and regulation for employing migrant workers in Djibouti. However, they only cover regular migrant workers, those with official documents for entry and work.
And now the Secretary General of the Ministry of Labour pointed out that the integration of migrants and refugees into the labour market is in accordance with labour standards remains an ongoing challenge and a continuous concern.
Avec l'assistance des partenaires au développement, Djibouti est engagé dans un processus.
With support from development partners, Djibouti is creating a labour migration strategy. This strategy promotes decent work and respects human rights. Djibouti welcomes and integrates legal migrants. The country sees them as an opportunity for development and prosperity. Even with limited resources, Djibouti has passed laws giving migrants the same rights as its citizens. Migrants can access public services such as healthcare, education, social protection, and job market. The country is on the current situation and on the consultants' work. I thank all partners who support this initiative. I wish you productive discussion. Thank you for your commitment and participation. I now declare this workshop open.
And now, this morning, the National Transport Sector Forum in Djibouti concluded at Isla Grand Hotel following 2 days of intensive discussions that brought together the country's leading institutional, economic and academic stakeholders. The event was organized in the patronage of Secretaries of State in charge of investment and private sector development, providing an opportunity to delve into the issues, challenges and prospects of a sector that is pivotal to the national economy. Participants discussed the main challenges facing the transport sector, including cross-border logistics, urban mobility, air transport, and financing mechanisms. The second full of intervention served as a platform to formulate the forum's final recommendations. In the session on urban mobility and public transportation, the growing challenges associated with urban expansion were highlighted. Representatives of taxi association, bus operators, technology companies, and institutional bodies recommended reorganization of the sector. Regarding air transport, participants, including the Civil Aviation Authority and Air Djibouti, presented the current capabilities and emerging opportunities. They stressed the need to attract more airlines, upgrade airport infrastructure, and strengthen regional partnership to enhance the country's air connectivity. Sport now. Stadium Preparatory School is pleased to announce the remarkable success of the Career Forum organized by the MENFOP. This important event dedicated to guiding professional futures of students provided a unique opportunity to offer mentorship and advice to college students and those from neighboring. The event was distinguished by the presence of General Director of the National Police, who was personally welcomed by the Director General of School Education and the Director of Stadium. The forum witnessed broad participation from key national stakeholders, reflecting the high importance assigned to youth guidance. Each institution provided an interactive booth to explain its daily activities and the career opportunities available. Particular attention was given to the demonstrations of services. National Police amazed students with a demonstration of the K9 unit and showcased all its diverse duties. The forum's impact extended beyond Stadium College to the regional level with participation from 4 additional colleges, enabling of over 40 students from each institution to access this valuable information. And now, as part of the Child Week, Fukuzawa Preparatory School hosted an important awareness sessions yesterday afternoon dedicated to the prevention and fight against sexual harassment. The event was attended by relevant authorities involved in combating this issue, represented by the Ministry of Women and Family, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Justice, and the MENFOP. The initiative aimed to educate students about the various forms of harassment, its effects, and ways to prevent it. During the session, speakers emphasized the importance of breaking the silence, encouraging victims to speak out and report incidents, also fostering a safe, respectful, and inclusive school environment. This session is part of a broader national effort to strengthen child protection and raise societal awareness of the risks of sexual harassment, a phenomenon that remains widespread and often goes unreported. By hosting this activity, Fukuzawa School reaffirms its commitment to making the school a space where every child can grow and learn an environment of safety, dignity, and trust. And now the 6th edition of Islamic Solidarity Games is currently taking place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, with the participation of 57 countries across 21 sporting disciplines. Djibouti is actively participating with a particular focus on athletics, a sport in which the country has traditionally excelled. Mohammed Ismail distinguished himself in long-distance event by winning the silver medal in the 3,000 meter, while Samia Hassan proudly brought home the bronze medal in the women's 10,000 meter race. The state minister in charge of sport, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamel, praised these achievements, highlighting the consistent skill and performance of Djibouti athletes through a long-distance event on the international stage. And now for the international news, as I mentioned on the title, on the 39th day of the ceasefire in Gaza Strip, the UN Security Council adopted the amended U.S. Resolution 2803, which welcomes the 20-point plan presented by U.S. President Donald Trump to end the conflict in Gaza. The resolution was supported by 13 out of 15 member states, but with Russia and China abstaining from the vote. The resolution calls for full implementation of the plan and maintenance of the ceasefire. Meanwhile, several Palestinians were injured when an Israeli drone fired near a school sheltering displaced people in the Al-Daraj neighborhood. The Al-Tufah area in eastern Gaza City was also subjected to Israeli artillery shelling. This is it for this 9 p.m. English News edition. Thank you for watching us. Stay tuned for more on RTD. The program continues.